obviously you wanted to get the win there. Was there enough good things that you feel like you're still seeing the growth?
Well, first off, before I address a game, Mark lost his mother this week, and so I just want to, simply say, that, as I told him before, our prayers are with him and his family, and, coaches do a lot of things that I don't want to say people don't realize, but because of, life happens, right? And our season goes on, and so for him to coach and for his team to get the win today, there's a part of me that's, happy for Mark. He does a hell of a job with this team, and I have a lot of respect for his program and his family, and so I know this has been a tough week for him, but they deserve to win today, and so I was on a personal note. I just know how tough of a week it was for him, and not going to be easy going back home either. From our perspective, as you asked him, just on the basketball game, yeah. I loved the way we competed. I thought we played tough. I thought we got the kind of game we needed to have an opportunity. Defensively, we wanted to keep them in front. They're the best team in the league at getting to the free throw line. And that also feeds into what they do defensively so well of the press. And so we wanted to keep them off the free throw line as much as possible. We didn't want to feed into that press. And I thought our team, from that standpoint, played really, really well.
And then on the not so great side, rebounding was tough, especially offensive rebounding. They get second chance points by 10.
Yep.
What's kind of the biggest takeaway that needs to be taken from this game on that front?
Yeah, I think there was a point of this game where I didn't think we were playing tough enough at the rim. And so there were a lot of drives that I felt like we could have gotten to the free throw line. There were a lot of rebounds that I felt like that we weren't getting. We weren't tough enough, physical enough to get on the offensive end, and that's an area that we've got to get better at. We've got to get better at. And you're right. I mean, the difference of those 10 points is big because they did get some of those.
And then this is the second game in a row that Tess has led you guys. Do you feel like she's starting to kind of settle into kind of her role? And I know that she's been a leader for you guys since she's gotten here, but really on the court kind of helping kind of push you guys along when you need it. She had those 6 points and you guys went 8-0 to get back in the game. Yeah,
I thought she had a really good second half. She first half not as aggressive, not as but she's a consistent competitor. And that has become more infectious with our team. And so what she does for us doesn't always show on the stat line, although it certainly does tonight. But it's also why she's getting, why she got to start today. And it's why she is getting the minutes that she's getting.
Coach, did you feel like there were some forced shots by West Virginia's defense?
Do you feel like they got us to force some shots? Yeah, well, there were some plays in that stretch in the third where we didn't play very well, where I felt like the shot clock, they really locked us up, and we didn't get very good looks in that stretch, so we were forced to take some really, really hard shots, and give credit to them. That's what they do, and that stretch of the game was big for them because we had the lead. they overtake us there. We had some empty possessions, but a lot of credit goes to them.
You talked about this game being an opportunity, and with the team being so young, you've talked about what do you want the team to take away going forward?
Well, there are a lot of things I think a team can take away from a game like today that hopefully build some confidence in that you can look at things and see where there was a commitment to the game plan. And you can look and see on film, me watching it live, I can see a concerted effort of things that we talked about. And they're going to be able to look and see those same things. We talked about this. We talked about this in the press break. We talked about this. And so there's tangible evidence of if you commit to this, we can play with some pretty good teams and have an opportunity. Doesn't mean you win it. We left some opportunities out there, right? I mean, we missed some layups. We missed some plays that we'd like to have back. But I do think that the things that we talked about, we did not have a very good shoot-around this morning. That really concerned me. But we ended shoot-around better. And I didn't know what we were going to get, honestly. I didn't know what we were going to get. But I was pleased with overall. I saw a group that played to the scout pretty well and was pretty connected most of the day.
Coach, I know a 2-point margin could be broken down many ways, but if you get your bigs to the free throw line, I would imagine you need for them to make their free throws.
Well, anytime you get there, you'd like to make one of two at least, right? You'd like to come away with the possession. So there was a stretch there where we had missed layups, missed free throws. Those are part of those empty possessions. And if you just get one, I think it's certainly helpful. But yeah, no doubt. We'd like to have some of those back.
Yeah, and in relation to Mark, he said in Lawrence the other day he was not sure at that time if he was even going to continue this road trip with the team. Were you prepared either way if he was not going to be on the bench?
Yeah, I didn't give it a whole lot of thought because our preparation doesn't change regardless of who's on the bench. As I said earlier, there are many things that happen during a season that people aren't aware of. And look, coaches, we're not the only ones. Life goes on for everybody, right? And life is, there are things that happen, whether it be sickness or whether it be a situation like this where you're dealing with the loss of a loved one, and those are really, really hard. I know that that had to be tough this week to be away from home, and so I feel for him, and I'm not surprised that there was thought of going back. I don't. That's his obviously his choice to make. So I didn't give a whole lot of thought whether he'd be there or not. We spoke before the game, and I expressed exactly what I expressed here early.
When Jordan was in here, she owned her mistake on that second last possession, stepping out. Is that something that you really have to go over and talk with her about, or is she kind of the competitor that she knows that and she's going to beat herself up enough and it's just best to move on?
Yeah, well, I think it's, boy, to not lose a game like that because we're down, right? But I've seen more of that this year in college basketball than I've seen in any year of stepping out of bounds on every team. I think it's an epidemic. And I think it's because of the gun shooting that they just step in and shoot. They just step in and shoot a lot. So they're not really aware of the sideline all the time. Now, we do drills all the time. But ironically, we have had that discussion a lot. And I know she's disappointed with it because we've worked a lot, we've talked a lot about it, because people do push her out. They try to push her out. Now, the players will tell you it's because they can shoot the ball so deep. They're used to shooting deeper threes up top. West Virginia does a really good job. We had two options on that play. We wanted to see if we could free Jordan up for the three with Nosh. If we couldn't, we wanted to go inside to Nas for the post up. And those were our two options. I think that as Jordan understands what people are doing to her, she'll recognize coming out of that break that I'm not going to have the shot. So now I've got to hold them off. But that's not on her. I've got to coach it better. That's more on me. That's my fault. I've got to coach that better. So it's not on her. I know she's accountable, and I know that she wants to do it right. But simply put, I've got to do a better job of making that emphasis and having that understanding better for them. Because West Virginia guarded it really well. I watched the whole thing, and they really jammed her up. Nosh did everything she could to free her. And West Virginia was physical. They were physical within the rules. They played it very good. And so that's not on Jordan. That's on me. All right, thank you guys.